have commented on my accent and things, and I do say things differently from a few of the people that I've watched so far. But first of all, I would just like to say, I'm sorry it's been a little while since I uploaded a video. I've been crazy busy, and I've missed doing it. So I'm really glad that I'm managing to do this, and I've got another few show and tell videos lined up to do. I know that everyone seems to like those ones, or at least they say that they like them, so I've got a few more of those to do. Also, if you can hear a funny sound in the background, then I have a nest Okay, now that I've convinced you I'm crazy, what do you say to address a group of people? I would just say guys, hey guys, or a very Scottish way to do it as well is to say hey yous, as in you all, plural. Yous is not proper English. I know, it's Scottish, but I would say hey yous sometimes. Mainly I would just say hey guys, but yous is a very Scottish way of addressing a group of, it's sort of like the Scottish version of y'all. Yous. So yeah. What do you call the kind of spider that has an oval-shaped body and extremely long legs? Well, I don't know, because everyone has been saying that this is a daddy long legs, but daddy long legs have wings. So a daddy long legs, I suppose. My mum used to call daddy long legs Jenny long legs, and I don't know who Jenny was. Maybe it was just someone she didn't like. I don't know. But although if it's an actual spider and not the one with wings that we call daddy long legs, the spiders with the little bodies and the big long legs, my boyfriend calls those bubblegum spiders. He thinks that they look like a piece of bubblegum with legs. I think he's crazy personally, but I'm not doing much to convince you that I'm not crazy at this point by telling you the random words that I use. So, what do you call your grandparents? Gran and granddad, I think, is traditional, sort of in the UK. But in Scotland, we would say granny and granda. Most of my friends, I never had grandparents, but most of my friends called their, obviously I had grandparents, I should say I never met my grandparents, but most of my friends called their grandparents their granny and granda. What do you call the wheeled contraption in which you carry groceries in the supermarket? I call it a shopping trolley or a trolley. What do you call it when rain falls whilst the sun is shining? I don't know if I call it anything. In April I would call it an April shower, I suppose. friends if